Welcome, friends, back to Meant to Bloom. I'm your host, Brittany Clarkson. I'm so glad to have you here. Um, oh, this is so different recording podcast episodes like on video because this is going to YouTube and the podcasting platform. So it's really weird watching myself record a podcast episode. I'm used to recording just straight up videos for my courses and lessons, but whatever. Okay, into the episode. So I am on this current journey. I'm in this current state of ruthlessly pursuing peace in my life. Honestly, I've been feeling stressed a lot lately. Like I can feel it like detached from that deep sense of gratitude that I was so attuned with. Like about a year ago, I really, really got into gratitude and I was really talking about it all the time. And I was practicing it all the time. And I felt this like it kind of faded away. I kind of lost that habit of really getting grounded into gratitude. And I was just repeating the same I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for, I'm grateful because. And I kind of like lost that deep sense of feeling that I used to have. So I need to kind of revamp that a bit and really go deeper, I guess, um, to really activate that feeling of gratitude again. And I feel like that really helps to overcome just that feeling of stress and anxiety that rises. Being a mom, it's my cat. Being a mom, like in a new house, we just shifted a lot of things in our life. We moved to a new neighborhood. The kids are going to be changing up what school looks like for them. Last year I only had one in kindergarten, and this year I'm having a kindergartner and a first grader. And then my preschooler, of course, is going to want to, we're going to have to do something with him now, now that he'll be on his own when they're doing school. Um, so he'll probably start preschooling at the same time. So it's like I'm going from one in school to three doing education. We're in a new neighborhood. We're farther away from their grandma, who used to, my mom that they used to see very, very often. Now it's, we have to drive an hour to see her. We still see her once or twice a week. Um, but it's hard on them to go from a 10-minute drive to a 50-minute drive. It's just a much bigger deal putting them in the car. There's so much going on right now, a lot of changes in life, all good changes. It's all wonderful, great things, but it's something to get used to. Even good changes change, and it kind of shocks the nervous system, and it kind of triggers fight or flight more often. There's so many decisions needing to be made with, um, you know, just unpacking. Where do we put this? As simple as that. Um, Kids had decisions to make. What do you want to decorate your room like? Because they used to share a room, and now they each have their own room. And, there's just so much. And it doesn't feel like a lot. It feels like each day is pretty chill. So the feeling like realizing that my stress levels were pretty high, that I am reacting out of stress was kind of a shock to me. It was a surprise because I did not expect that feeling. I expected like things are chill, things are good. I should just be chill. Like I shouldn't be stressed when everything is fantastic, right? And yet there was stress. Um, and so I'm ruthlessly pursuing this piece now. And I know that gratitude is a piece of it. And I need to get deeply grounded back into that. So I'm gonna go back and take my own advice on how to really get grounded deeply into gratitude. And I'm gonna try some different things I haven't done in a while, some different gratitude practices and exercises, probably some gratitude meditations off YouTube. And I'm really gonna make that a priority to really feel the gratitude instead of just saying it. I mean, I journaled this morning on gratitude, and like the feeling just still isn't totally there. It's kind of like just repeating mantras and affirmations where it's like I don't fully believe it, even though I know it's true. And I'm just not quite there yet. Um, but we'll get back to that. And that's the hope. That's the peace I have, that I'm going to get back to that. Um, And so ruthlessly pursuing peace in my life doesn't mean that I'm cutting out everything and everyone who disturbs that peace. Hi, baby. But what it does mean is that I'm rewriting the meaning behind these actions and interactions and things that are happening around me. Okay, there are things in life that do not bring peace, or they don't bring peace for a season that you just can't cut out. I mean, children, for one thing, do not bring peace all the time. They bring a lot of chaos and a lot of stress because they are children. And if you're attaching what they're doing to mean anything about you, get out of here. If you're taking what they're doing that triggers you and making it mean something about you, you're going to feel higher stress about it. You're going to feel resentment about it. Voice out now. I'm recording. Out. Thank you. Go. But if you take what someone else is doing and make it mean something about you, you will never have peace in your life. And you can't just cut out people who act in ways that you don't want, because you will end up with no one left in your life. So we can't always ruthlessly cut out a source of stress. We have to reframe what that stress means about us. My kids. Thank you. Okay. This brings me to my next point. You cannot control everything in your life, and you cannot control other people. All right. I'm a planner gal. I plan everything. And if I expected everything to go as planned 100% of the time, I would be so miserable. I would believe so many negative false thoughts about myself as a person. You cannot expect everything to go as planned, but it is good to have a plan. It really is. You need to have direction. You need to have intention. You need to know where you want to go. Otherwise, you'll never know when you get there, right? But to expect everything to follow a plan, to expect everyone to listen to you, to expect everyone to change when you want them to change, it's not going to happen. And you're going to be really miserable if you keep expecting yourself to have the ability to control other people. Other people are going to upset you. Other people are not going to listen to you because they're other people. Yeah, we are all unique individuals. We all have our own path, our own life, our own journey. And you can't control someone else's. What you can control is how you react to them, how you respond to them, how you view what they are doing. If you're constantly thinking they are doing this to me, they are doing this and it's hurting me, you're going to be miserable. If you can detach, practice detaching from just this expectation that everyone is going to follow the script you've written in your head. Detach from that expectation and understand they're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things I don't like, but it's not about me. You're going to be a lot happier, right? So if you can reframe the way you view what everyone else is doing, it's going to change things. Okay, let's look at nature for our guide on what perfection is. If you look at a forest, just this perfect ecosystem that is untouched by human hands, and so many things are growing and flourishing and thriving. Let's look at that. That's a perfect system. Okay, let's look at nature for how we want to view perfection. Okay, you see this forest where everything is growing and thriving. Okay, it works perfectly together. Now let's look at what we think perfection is. Okay, when I think perfection, what do I think? Honestly, I'm picturing white, clean, square grids. Everything has a place. Everything is perfect. This very like minimalist perfection. where everything is balanced. I picture cookie cutter. I picture so many things that are man-made. Man-made is not perfection. We tend to think everything that is perfect is man-made. And that is our crippling flaw. Man-made does not equal perfection. Here's this thing that I have realized. Okay, we just moved to this new house and everything outside is landscaped. Like, we got the bark chips, we've got hydrangeas and Japanese maples and, all of the Burberry bushes, whatever. Like, there's all kinds of things that are like someone paid. What happened is this was a forest that was thriving on its own. They clear cut it, they built a house, they pulled up everything that was growing here naturally on its own with zero help. Okay? Things that are native to the area, things that were well rooted, things that didn't have a perfect spacing, the things that got what they needed where they were. They got the sunlight they needed, they got the shade they needed, they got the water they needed without humans having to interfere in any way. That to me is perfection. And now there's this big, beautiful house. It is beautifully landscaped. I love the landscaping, it's beautiful. But guess what? Everything that's out there wasn't intended to be there. It doesn't work perfectly, even though there's perfect spacing between every plant. If we spent, a day out there on garden work, it would look perfect. Man-made perfect. And here's the problem is we have to water everything. We have to pull the weeds. We have to, cut back different plants so that they don't overtake the plants next to them. We have to do a lot more work to keep it looking perfect because it's man-made perfection. Now, when you go into that forest where everything is thriving and it grows on its own without humans having to come in and take care of the plants, there is no perfect spacing. There is no perfect, nothing lines up perfectly. You'll have trees where there's a trunk of a tree that fell over and there's like 5 trees growing out of this, stump. It's not cookie cutter, perfect, beautiful, but it works. And every plant in there has what it needs to thrive without me having to come in and water them and fertilize them and prune them and weed them. Natural perfection doesn't look like human perfection. And if we're going for natural perfection and we're okay with it not looking the way we thought it needed to look, we might end up with something that thrives easily and naturally on its own. Try that in your life and in your relationships. It doesn't have to look the way you thought it was supposed to look, because that's what this cookie cutter human made perfection looks like. It can look different. Sometimes being unperfect is what it takes to thrive easily, naturally, on its own. Life can be so much easier than we make it. If I just let my yard be wildflowers that are all native and grow on their own, it could be beautiful. And it's far less work on my part. Nature wants to naturally grow what you need, even edible natural flora will grow if you let it. But we take the lead on society and we let them tell us what things look right. We let this major corporation tell us that dandelions are weeds and that we should pull them because the only acceptable front lawn is perfect green grass with nothing interrupting it, cut all the time, watered to be green. That takes a lot of work. When if you just let it naturally grow, you end up with all these dandelions and goosefoot and all kinds of things that are healthy and good for you. Like, Oh my goodness, have you heard about dandelions? They are so good for your heart. You can make them into teas, you can put them into salads, like you can make dandelion jam, and it's really good for you, and it grows on its own, and it's natural, and it's less work for you to let the dandelion grow all by itself than it is for you to pull the dandelions out and have this perfectly manicured front lawn. Okay. And I'm not saying I'm 100% against perfectly manicured front lawns because I do enjoy having this space of a lawn. But as a compromise with my husband, we also have wildflowers. We also have designated space where I'm allowed to let dandelions grow because I can't control what he thinks. I can't control the way he keeps the lawn in the house that he pays for, that he lives in. He gets to have things for himself, just like I get to have things for myself. And it wouldn't be right for me to try to control him the way he tries to control the lawn, you know? Live and let live. We have to make compromises. We have to just let things be easy because that's the way our relationship is going to thrive. It's less work for me to not nag him about letting dandelions grow in his yard. Do you get what I'm saying here? So let's go ahead and take time to journal through where you may be expecting an unreasonable perfection. Maybe you're putting in a lot more work to get a lot less out. Maybe you're trying to keep a perfectly manicured lawn somewhere in your life, but you'd be a lot happier if you let wildflowers grow. Something to think about, something to sit with, something that I really hope uncovers something so deep inside of you. I love you, friend. You are beautiful. Keep on going, keep on growing.